Let's check this out from Need More Amalek. These e-crusaders usually know very little about Paul. I think this is a clip from a YouTube channel that's exposing religion. Let's see. I haven't watched it yet. I think it's about Paul and Jesus being a myth. Let's see it.
Jesus founded Christianity. They told you the church began with the words of the Son of God himself, walking among men, preaching love, compassion, and salvation. But what if I told you that everything you believe about the origins of Christianity is built on a colossal lie? What if the entire foundation of your faith was engineered not by Jesus, but by a man who never even met him? A man whose name appears more than Jesus in the New Testament, a man whose letters dictated the rules, doctrines, and mindset of billions of people for centuries. That man was Paul of Tarsus. And the truth is this: Paul created Christianity, not to spread divine truth, not to honor Jesus, but to control the masses, rewrite a spiritual movement into a system of submission, and mold a humble Jewish preacher into a Roman-style deity whose image could be wielded as a weapon of authority. And that truth has been hidden in plain sight. The moment you realize that Paul never met Jesus during his lifetime is the moment the illusion starts to crack. Paul didn't walk beside him, didn't hear the Sermon on the Mount, didn't witness the crucifixion, didn't stand by him in Galilee or Jerusalem. And yet, somehow Paul's voice dominates the New Testament. 13 letters, and the backbone of Christian theology, all from a man who built his message on visions, not teachings. How is it that someone who never heard a word from Jesus' mouth became the architect of a religion that billions now call Christianity? The answer is power. Jesus of Nazareth, as most scholars now agree, was a Jewish apocalyptic preacher. He spoke of justice, of the kingdom of God on earth, of returning to the roots of Jewish law with sincerity and integrity. His message was defiant, revolutionary, and often politically dangerous. He challenged the powerful. He confronted the corrupt. He did not ask for a church. He never founded one. His goal was not to start a new religion, but to purify the old. Then came Paul, a Roman citizen, educated, privileged, fluent in Greek and the politics of empire, and with a sudden mystical vision on the road to Damascus, a vision he had alone without witnesses, he claimed authority. Not just authority, but total authority. He wasn't content to spread Jesus' teachings. He redefined them. He transformed Jesus from a human prophet into a divine, supernatural being. He shifted the focus from action to belief, from community to personal guilt, from liberation to submission. While the original disciples, James, Peter, and the others, continued teaching the life and message of Jesus as a Jewish reformer, Paul went rogue. He distanced himself from the law, the customs, the very identity of the man he claimed to represent. And his writings show it. Where Jesus taught humility, Paul instituted hierarchy. Where Jesus spoke in parables of justice, Paul lectured on obedience and sin. And disturbingly, Paul dismissed any need for people to know Jesus' actual life. He said his gospel did not come from man, nor was it taught to him. In other words, he didn't care what Jesus actually said or did. He was building something new, a religion based not on the man, but on the myth. Let this sink in. The earliest Christian texts we have are not the Gospels. They are Paul's letters. Written decades before Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, Paul's letters laid the ideological framework. And these letters barely mention anything about Jesus' life. No virgin birth, no miracle, almost nothing from the actual ministry of Jesus. Instead, Paul talks endlessly about crucifixion, resurrection, sin, atonement, and obedience. He was creating a system, not preserving a legacy. And when you examine the historical record, it gets darker.